price competition in the same salon. What do you do if you're in the same salon with other techs? How do you price yourself? Is it getting competitive? We're going to talk about this right now on the Biz Talk. Competition. I like competition. It's in the title. I'm going to talk about competition real quick.
I'm not competitive at all.
No. Tracey is the most non-competitive person
It's true.
in the world.
And I will compete with anybody on that.
Tracey's on today, man. We recorded a couple of this second episode, and I got to tell you, she is money. She's dollar bills. Tracey Ryerson. Tracey dollar bills Ryerson. Okay. I know that was a little weird, but I call you dollar bills. All right. So, this is a tense topic. I'm going to say.
Can be.
You're in this. So we're going to lay this out real quick. The situation is, you're in a salon. It is booth rent. Okay. And how it's competitive on price, or maybe you're in the salon and you're looking at her pricing and her pricing and her pricing, whoever's pricing, and you're like trying to fill out the situation. How do you price yourself? Are you going too hardcore? Is it too hardcore in the salon? Is there like actual price slashing going on? Regardless, let's start. I just went off on like 8 tangents.
I just see like at your booth, you have one of those things that are flopping around because you're having crazy deal.
Crazy Habib's nail service. I've got like stereo equipment, but in the background, but it's nails. Okay. Tracey, first of all, have you seen that sitch in a salon where it's like, it is competitive on price, or does it, like, how does that work? I'm not familiar with this topic at all. So, but I would imagine it can get tense pretty quick.
I would imagine, but I haven't heard it.
You have not?
But I have heard of pricing being different. It's the one reason I always recommend to my girls, like, here's what I charge. Here's kind of the salon pricing, which was higher. I recommend you charge the same. It's nice if we all keep our pricing. You do not have to, but it keeps people from price comparing. But I have learned something since then.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
It does not matter?
I don't think it matters anymore. I thought it would, but it doesn't. Because I don't want the client that's price comparing anyway. And I have seen too many mentors, Melissa being one of them, who's charging almost 3 times the amount of 11 other girls in her salon and getting it.
Right. Building the clientele.
Yeah. Literally walk into her booth area and kind of make fun of her for charging it. And she's looking at them like they're crazy because she has a client after client after client, and she is getting almost 3 times the amount. She's like, but that doesn't make sense to me. Why are you laughing at me about it? I don't get it. So that just showed to me, and it's the same thing as when people say, well, there's a discount salon next door and they charge half the price.
Right.
I had one of those. I had salons all around me that were charging half the price. It didn't matter. So does it really matter in my own salon? I don't think it does. I think it's actually, it's a sad part on the person that's charging less.
Okay. I want to talk about that because that's really interesting. Let me ask you this question though. If somebody is going into a salon, okay, and they're new in this salon, should they inquire on pricing?
Heck yeah.
Okay, and just to kind of see where they're at?
Oh, no, that's why I do recommend, if I had a salon today, I would still be like, this is where I'm at, especially because I know they're probably going to try to charge less. Because not because they're trying to undercut me, but maybe that's where their pricing was, or that's where they feel like they shouldn't charge more than that. I'm going to tell them like, hey, you can be charging. Look, I'm getting it. You should be charging the same amount, but charge what you want.
Yeah.
But yeah, fill it out because it might be more than you thought.
Right. So get a feel for that.
Ask everybody.
Yeah,
I would
ask everybody. Yeah. It's a smart thing to do in your business. Like, we know the prices of our competitors, not because we're trying to undercut or anything. We set our own pricing based on our belief of what our products and the quality and the time and energy that goes into it. So there's that, but we are aware of the market and what's
Dude, I
going
knew
on.
every salon in my town's pricing.
Everything.
Yes, of course. It's just good business.
Yeah,
I wanted to make sure I was where I should be.
of course.
Yeah, and if someone else is charging way more than me, I'm like, I have to, or several salons, and I'm realizing that the average price in that town has actually went up, and I missed the boat.
Yeah.
So
an opportunity to raise your prices.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
And make more money.
I want to be where I should be, whatever's the standard or the average is for my town. Maybe on the other high end of that.
Right. Of course. Okay. So just circling back to Melissa now, she moved down here.
Yes.
She had a clientele up in Northern California, Central California. She moved down here to Southern California. It was like 5 years ago or something.
It's like, 5.
Was it? Yeah.
5. And
so when she first started in this salon with 11 other techs, are you telling me that off the bat, she set her pricing and it was 3 times higher than everybody else in the salon?
Yes. She made a conscious decision to do that. Now, she didn't. I'm not going to lie. Melissa will tell you this herself. There was every once in a while that we would talk and she's like, maybe I need to reduce my pricing. Maybe I should reduce my pricing. I don't know.
So she was building.
Yeah. But what I would say is like, well, if you're doing 3 times the amount, but you're still got clientele, it would take you 3 times the clientele when you're making that pricing. It's
right.
like, oh, crap. Yeah. So why don't you keep your pricing? Because people are coming to you. It was at a good rate. I mean, it wasn't like she was getting clientele slower than anyone else. It's just the average time it takes to build. But, the thought does come in your head, maybe if I charge less, maybe I will get more clients. But look at how much more room she had to grow than someone that was charging, a third or whatever it is. Don't math. No.
Don't math you.
No, don't math me. Don't English me either.
We won't. Okay. So, cause I know it did take, it took a couple years, right? For Melissa to build.
Yeah. She moved to a couple different salons.
Yeah.
She, but again, she just felt like, you know what? I am building. I am getting the clientele that I want in the end. And it would take me 3 times the amount of clients if I was charging their pricing.
Yeah, exactly. And so even if it takes a little bit longer, I think the thing, so I'm kind of jumping around in my head here. Let me just back this up a little bit. Melissa is very confident in her work.
Yes, she is.
In her ability. She does phenomenal nails. Like structurally, her nails last. Also, she's fast and like she can go warp speed even for a set that would, with insane nail art. She does it in a time frame that's like pretty incredible.
It is insane. Right? It's amazing. And she has incredible customer service.
She's got incredible customer service on top of that. So those are all the makings of like, she can wait this out, right? If somebody doesn't now this is just, it's really important that I say that, because if you don't have the confidence, or if your skills need work, and then you're like, I'm going to walk in this salon, I'm going to charge 3 times because I'm going to do what Melissa did, and you're not getting the clients, well, obviously the market is going to tell you something.
Market dictates pricing. And that's why where people see our pricing, sometimes they're like, I could never. You're probably right. You might be right.
In your market.
But do you know what your market's getting? Do
Right.
you really know what your market's getting? That's
Right.
my thing, is make sure you know what your area is getting. There might be someone that's getting more. Why aren't you getting the same price? Let me tell you something else Melissa did. She set herself apart. So she had 2 options when she went into that salon. She could go where the other 11 nail techs were, which was one giant room, or she could rent a room that usually is for estheticians or a private hairdresser, which was more money per week for booth rent. And she did that. So she elevated privacy. She elevated. Plus, when you walked by her room, you couldn't but stop and look, because that room was just walls full of glitter. So, I mean, she elevated everything to make it, like when people walked by and they had to walk by her room to go to the main room, they were like,
What's that?
yeah.
Yeah.
So, how are you setting yourself apart too?
Correct. All those things play into pricing, and a lot of people think, well, just because you're in Southern California, you can charge more. It's actually not true. The amount of competition that's in Southern California, and if you looked at the average price for nails, I would say it's probably on the lower side just because there's so many salons here. The competition is so fierce. For her to do that, she's got the skills, she understands marketing, she understands setup, customers, all these things play into it. You know what I mean? And if you're going to go and do this, like Tracey said, you have to understand your market.
Yep.
And I'm not saying like, oh, the salon down the street charges this is my average price. No. I'm talking about actually inquiring on all the salons in a 3, 4, 5 mile radius to really understand your market.
Depends where you live. Where I lived, I was Redding, California. We had quite a few people that lived there, and I guarantee I knew everybody's pricing. I was nosy.
Yeah.
But I was friends with everybody too. Like I knew people.
Totally. That's good business though.
Yeah. So I wanted to know, and I was an open book with me too. Like whatever you want to know, I'm an open book. Now, what I would tell you to avoid is I'm sure it's out there. I just haven't personally heard of like it literally becoming a competition. I've heard it via salons, so I would imagine it can happen in salon too. Please fight that urge, because what happens eventually is Habib goes, I'm $60 for a full set. I'm like, ha, I'm 50. And Habib goes, well, I'm 40.
And I'm going to laugh
and I go, I'm 30. But guess what happens is when someone comes in, and this is me, and it's a lot of people. When a person comes in and they go, Habib's 60 and she's 30, I perceive Habib's better.
Completely.
I perceive it's the Louis, it's all these different stores, purses. Why do you want them so bad? Why do you perceive that it's so much better? You know what I mean?
Right.
A white t-shirt can cost you $300-$400 by one brand, and you can go to Walmart and buy it for $5.
Right.
Yes, is the quality a little different? But you see what I'm saying? When you get to a certain price, people no longer think you're good.
Yeah, it's very true. If you bring your price down too much, you have to ask why.
Yeah.
Like really, if
Are
you're
they using cheap products,
right?
Are they not good?
And also, are you not confident in your ability that you feel like you have to charge so much less? That's a problem. Yeah. I don't want to go somebody that's not confident in their work. I want to go to somebody, they're going to charge me more, but they are confident. And, at any time I know, look, if there's an issue, they're going to take care of it. Like that customer service piece is huge.
Huge. So what I would recommend is set your pricing with everybody else or set it higher. And then if you need, let's say you hit a situation like COVID or something like that, and some people have stopped going to you, run specials.
Yeah.
Don't drop your price, because that's where you want to be. Run specials.
Yeah. I like that. Specials, promotions is always a good way to give value to
Looks
deal.
of the month, whatever it is,
without dropping your actual price. Let us know in the comments below how you've dealt with the situation, whether it's in salon. I'm going to take it also to neighboring salons right next door, competing salons. Have you dealt with pricing? What have you done? It's going to help people also that are dealing with the situation. Thank you, Tracey.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. See you next time on the Biz Talk.